Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Guinness Golden Ale. So obviously Guinness are they're not unused, no, they are used to providing different versions of Guinness. I mean, you've got normal Guinness, Guinness mid-strength, foreign extra, so they're obviously exploiting their name to the best of their abilities, which I suppose, and it's a trend that has continued now with the likes of Shepherd and Neame with the Spitfire Gold, Wadworth, Hobgoblin, and so on, and Crabbies as well for another one. So brewed with the finest hops, Irish barley and a specially selected amber malt, and yeah, it tells you some rubbish on the back. At 4.5%. Never had it before, not that I can remember anyway. And so I was either too drunk or I just haven't drunk it. It's one of them. So the weather, my God, we're in August, and I know they say there's global warming. Well, ain't no global warming here, because it's as wet as they come, it's as windy as they come. And it's just not great. It's just not warm. It's certainly not barbecue weather. So quite a dark amber pour there. I'd say it's a golden ale with a white head. Definite malty aroma. Malt in the taste. I mean, on the back it says a beautifully balanced ale with a rich golden hue. The subtle biscuit flavours of the malted barley perfectly complement the pleasing bitterness and delicate fruity hop aroma, giving way to a refreshingly crisp finish. Oh, and it's a little bit out of date as well. Bought that many beers that at some stage something was going to go out of date. It's one of those things really. You buy them from supermarkets, and if you don't check every single date, which, I mean, who can be bothered to check dates? You shouldn't have to, but Oh, so a lot better than it was last week, and with the issues underneath the house, which, touch wood, have subsided. There's been no activity in about 4 days now. So one of the most frightening things, I think, there's not many things that get me like that. I've had death threats against me over the years, not through me, but silly members of the family, and things got sorted. But when it's underneath your house and you've got no control, and obviously you can't go down yourself and sort it, it's quite disturbing. And obviously moving jobs as well, that's another fright. But hopefully going into tomorrow, but won't be a little bit stressed, but that's as always. Sunday night you think, oh God, work tomorrow. And as much as we all, no one truly enjoys going to work. I mean, there was a stage where I did. I used to love, I used to be that focused on work. And that was when I was at Sainsbury's. I was so mega focused. Sadly, it got took away by them changing things, and not for the better. So a lovely, crisp, clear beer. Lovely traditional looking beer, really. Yeah, there are notes of biscuit. There's a slight hoppy taste there, but mainly the malt. For me, this to me is more of a traditional ale than anything else, which isn't a bad thing, because not everybody likes traditional Guinness, do they? I only had it. The wife bought it because she was going to do a cake or a stew or something. I think it was a stew. And she bought it. I thought, what's this? Drank it. And I thought, well, it's not bad, And then we'd start drinking it in town. It made a change from John Smith's or whatever. In the days where pubs were useless with craft beers. Nowadays it's getting better, although the big chains still aren't that great. Wetherspoons is probably the best for different beers, you know, in their chains, out of the big name chains. So, yeah, pleasant, going down well, 4.5%. Yeah, it's translating to what I'm feeling that's coming from it. Yeah, all this rain we're having, bloody hell. I've just mowed the garden, and in a week, I'm not joking, it's grown like that in a week. That is a ridiculous growth, you know. And I mow my garden weekly, so, you know, and then on a Sunday afternoon you think, oh, I don't want to do the garden. I just want to chill out, have a couple of beers, and have a doss on the settee, watch some films. I mean, I did this morning, watched Aladdin, the new Will Smith, and good film. Yeah, I liked it. Bit different to the cartoon, which was amazing, you know. You'll never beat Robin Williams. He was comic genius, and the person who suffered mental health issues, you know. And despite all them millions, you know, did he take his own life? I can't remember 100%. But yeah, I was so sad, you know. As low as you can get, and I was pretty low last weekend. Never would I think about taking my own life, you know. And although I was bloody low last weekend, don't want one of them weekends again. But I suppose now we fought back against the little shites underneath the house, and you know, we're continuing to. I've got 9 mouse traps. 9. I've just got to redo them tonight with fresh peanut butter, because obviously the peanut butter brings a little shits out of hiding, and the smell of it, you know, it's like gold dust to them. And so if there is anything lurking, the peanut butter will have them. Plus the amount of rat poison I put down underneath my ass. 4 different types of rat poison. So yeah, some are immune to one, but I bet you I got the bleeders. But anyway, yeah, it's not bad. The only thing I can say, it's not exciting. It is what it is, you know. It's on a day like today, it's windy and cool. Not exactly a real nice August day. But as it is, you know, it's going down okay. You know, if I seen it in a pub and it was amongst some of the random, you know, some of the normal fare of beers, I would probably choose this over them, just because, you know, it's different. And obviously you've got the Guinness name, and obviously names do go a long way. Looking forward to seeing what happens at Tesco's in the next couple of weeks, because they're reducing a lot of their stock. Changed. I mean, I can't believe how rapidly now supermarkets are changing their lineups of beers, and some real big traditional names are disappearing. Sainsbury's has absolutely devastated their range of beers. And on the ciders department, where they used to have, say, the ciders, they'd have them 2 thick, so that's just 1 crate thick going to the back. Now I went in yesterday and they've got them 8 thick. The range has disappeared. It's like a 20% of what it was, and that's sad, because people like us who go to supermarkets wanting different beers, you're going to be struggling, you know. It's not a good evolution for me, because supermarkets are our way of getting beers at the cheapest. I mean, that's a bit unfair on the brewers, but obviously they're buying the beers in a massive amount, so they can afford to bring them a bit cheaper to us. But it also forces you to use like online beer sellers, and they are a lot more expensive. You know, half the time you're better off chucking straight to the brewery, because they're getting them from the brewery at a couple of crates at a time, or 4 or 5 crates at a time, so they won't be getting much of a thing. So you're probably better off just going straight to a brewery and just shopping brewery by brewery if that's the case. Let's hope it's an evolution we don't get too much of. So if I'm going to rate the supermarkets now, Morrison's still the king. Number 2, out of the big 4, Asda. Number 3, I would swing it towards Sainsbury's. And number 4 would be Tesco's out of the big 4. Marks and Spencer's got a good range, but actually, their range, it's bloody expensive. Like I said in another review, buy it when they're on offer. When they've got their offers on, then there's the time to hit them. Waitrose, hit them when they're on, when you do an online shop and get that £20 off, and makes a good bargain. They don't have a lot of offers either. Ocado, they have some great beers, but they're not cheap. Aldi and Lidl, small range, but they have their beers that they come out every now and again, and they do have beer festivals. Not seen one for a while, so I'm hoping we see one soon. I need to keep checking their pages. I haven't checked the pages for a while. Been so preoccupied with events beyond my control. Bargain booze, talk about Own Bargains. Own Bargains has been rubbish lately. Got nothing from them. B&M Bargains, they've got a good core range, and now and again go in once a month and you'll get beers that you've not had before. And they have got the Parma Violets and Strawberries and Cream cider, which is amazing. And finally, Bargain Booze. I'm so jumpy, I've had to turn the telly off 3 times today just to sit there in total silence listening. And freaked me out, this whole thing has. Bloody critters. Yeah, Bargain Booze. I do rate Bargain Booze. If you get a good Bargain Booze near you, we've got one in Sherwood, about 400 yards away. And every time I go in, they've got different beers, And in 2 weeks' time, I'm either going to go to Tesco's, because I do the little old ladies, and I use that money to buy beers. So I don't spend too much on beers, because obviously, got to pay for other things. And I'm either going to go there or see what Tesco's have got in 2 weeks' time, see if the new range of stuff comes in, and what new beers, hopefully something exciting and not just a rehash, or beers that have been away for years and come back, because they're the beers that we want. Still waiting for Eagle Brewery, aka Wells, whatever the the old name was, to bring back Bombardier Colonel's Reserve, a fantastic stronger beer. Right, 13 minutes, sorry for rattling. A good beer, I know some of my reviews are a bit longer than others people's, but a good beer deserves a little bit of time to breathe, like wines really. Let the air get to it. And a lot of beers taste different by the time you get to the halfway mark, and that's because obviously the air's got to it, and your palate has been washed with it, as you got out whatever you've had before. So, come with no expectations for this. My general look at it was just a way of capitalising on the name. I still think it's that, in reality. But saying that, it's a nice traditional ale. Something you would drink alongside John Smith's, Pedigree, Hobgoblin. Them sort of beers. The good beers, but not the top class beers. Not the top 10 beers, if I'm being honest. So, dark amber pour, white head, a bit of lacing and carbonation. On the aroma, malt. On the taste, malt. A little bit of fruity hop in it, a little bit of biscuit. Very traditional ale. Very pleasant, you know, and very drinkable. Yeah, it went down quite nicely, really. You know, it wasn't one of them that I went, oh my god, I don't want to touch that again. So out of 5, I'm going to give it a 4.2 out of 5. So not at the top end, but it was a nice effort, and I can see where it's aimed at, the market it's aimed at, more traditional beer drinkers, not really a craft beer. Although I'll be putting the hashtag on craft beer when I do the thing later, and Guinness. Right, thanks for watching. See you soon.